Hello and welcome to Game 3 in this best of 3 in the upper bracket quarterfinals between Crimson Guard and Manta Style. Each game we've seen so far has been a comeback. The team that was behind in the lanes catches up and surpasses the other. Manta Style winning first and Crimson Guard going in the second game on to take the enemy base when they were the ones on the back foot for probably the first 30 minutes even. So the first game was mostly about PA getting on top of Drow once you had the BKB, and Crimson Guard could not deal with that, right?
Yes.
This game was about the Echo Slams.
Yeah, that was like completely brutal.
Crimson Guard, they got so much out of that. And that's like 100% on Abomination. Like, his team helped him get the positioning for that by staying in front of him, making sure that he couldn't get caught by any of those glaives, but the Echo Slams that he chose to take were just sublime. And that is gonna be respected by Manta Style. This is the first time they've changed their first 3 bans, I think. And they still get rid of the Weaver and the Marana, but they get rid of that Earthshaker this time.
They left Silencer open and picked a fairly no silencer allowed opening as well, so.
Yeah, I don't know what you do as Silencer versus those heroes.
You hope.
Maybe you go mid and get a Shadow Blade and a Hex.
I'm honestly a little surprised that they didn't pick up the Silencer themselves in the first phase. Like, it's really good against Phoenix, and assuming they go for Necro again, which they didn't this game, apparently. It's good against Necro as well. Yeah, they still can if it doesn't get banned out.
But yeah, Crimson Guard taking that Phoenix once again. And, you know, Sunny on the Phoenix in the first game, he did what he could. They were so far behind for so much of the game that it was difficult to really come online as Phoenix in that latter half. But I've seen him just completely pick apart a game the same way Abomination did in this last one on the Earthshaker, and I am excited to see him have that once again. Abomination Warlock, though, I've not seen that hero from him. I've seen a lot of Witch Doctor and Shadow Shaman and Earthshaker, like really big, impactful, team fight-oriented supports, and Warlock fits that bill as well, but I don't know, he feels different to me.
Warlock in the early game is like the most passive hero in the game, other than maybe even Dazzle is like more aggressive than Warlock, I feel, because you just kind of like sit behind your carry, you know, throw it a right click here and there, and you just spam your heal, and that's all you really do. So yeah, a little different than like an Earthshaker or a Witch Doctor.
I mean, Abomination has impressed us so far in both of these games and just in general. So I'm definitely excited to see how he plays around the Warlock.
No, they actually end up banning out the Necro. It's not really surprising to me. They did pick it 2 games in a row.
Yeah. I am a little bit surprised, so that Crimson Guard are the ones who banned the Ursa. I feel like they'd rather pick it here.
It is an okay pick here, but leaving Ursa open in general, like if they don't pick it immediately, and then if the other team gets an opportunity, I should say, to pick it, it's very good against Axe and very good against Undying. Because not only do you mount the Tombstone, Axe cannot lane against Ursa. It is his hardest counter, in my opinion. Except maybe like Necro.
Yeah, still though, I don't know. I probably would have chosen to pick the Ursa here and ban out the Monkey King instead, because I feel like Monkey King doesn't help you against the Phoenix, but he's still really good against both Axe and Undying.
Monkey is like it sounds kind of weird, but he has a fairly even matchup with Axe because of Battle Hunger.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here, sorry.
Okay,
what's up?
Just because of Battle Hunger, what?
Just because Battle Hunger, like you drop it on him in lane, and level 2 Battle Hunger does like way more damage than it should. And like he has to get all of his lifesteal from hitting you, and Battle Hunger slows him and gives you movement speed, right? So in that case, it kind of makes it a bit of an even matchup.
Okay. Interesting. I've generally, like, when I play, I've generally felt like if I pick Monkey King against an Axe lane, it's just a free lane, but maybe it's just not being played correctly against the Monkey King or on the Axe's side of that, because I've not played the other side of that matchup because it just felt like so bad to me.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's kind of like a skill matchup.
But the Winter Wyvern pick for Manta style. I mean, that's, what is that here?
It's team fight control, right? So whatever they end up picking here, like say they go for the Monkey King or something, right? It's a pretty squishy hero in general, and like you could just drop your ult on him, and he's just kind of in a bad spot.
All right. Interesting. So they are going to get that Phantom Lancer to make sure that the Undying Tombstone is safe. They have the Winter Wyvern already, so they're not going to have that counter available. Also is able to doppelwalk outside or out of those Clockwork cogs, which will be really big this game. Clockwork, I really like this hero, but this is an off-lane Clockwork, isn't it? Like a 3 position.
It could be a 3-position clock. It could also be a 3-position Phoenix.
That's true. If it is a 3 Phoenix, do you think Avalanche is playing it or Sunny?
It's hard to say. I've seen Avo as a very versatile player, despite the fact that he played Necro 2 games in a row. He played carry last season, so like, which is way different than the role he's playing now. Especially like the meta's almost exactly the same as it was last season.
Yeah, we've been on 7.19 for a very long time, since before TI, huh?
Yep.
Like,
feels like old days.
I like the longer patch style though, because it's a lot easier to keep up with the changes. Like when there were patches every 2 weeks, it's like, oh, they changed that. I forgot. Even though I read all the patch notes, it's like things are just moving around so much. It's hard to get into a comfortable groove and understand the game.
Yeah. And the longer a patch exists, the more it gets figured out and stuff, right? And like the more things get figured out, the less they get figured out. Like a hero comes into meta because it counters other heroes, and then like here's a good example. Like say PL's in the meta, that makes Ember good, and if Ember's good, that makes Invoker good, right?
Yeah, and also like a lot of heroes that don't like Invoker. I'm surprised we haven't seen Invoker. Are there just not Invoker players in these two teams?
They're not really. Bobo isn't much for Invoker. He's more of like a Mirana Ember, Huskar kind of guy, and is a fairly specialized player. Like his hero pool is, or his top 2 are Timber and Arc Warden, and then there are other options involved after that. But Timber actually wasn't banned out this game, so I wouldn't be surprised if they picked it up.
Yeah, pretty good against that Ember Spirit in lane for sure. Although Crimson Guard might consider picking it up themselves. Like Timber's actually really good for them. I think Timber is a stronger hero for Crimson Guard this game than he is for Manta style, and they do have the option to take him first if they play it.
5 seconds.
I agree that it's a better pick for them. I don't think that they will. I don't think they're skilled enough on it, like especially considering how good this guy is at Timbersaw. But Anti-Mage coming out here again, just trying to secure that late game, and late game they have, and this time they have a way to protect the lane very well with the Warlock.
And the Clockwork is going to make a lot of space and tempo control in this game, whether he's the 3 or the 4.
5 seconds. Hurry.
But I will say it can be difficult on Clockwork to get good hooks off after a fight has started from Manta style. So you have to be the one initiating the whole time. Like you can't counter initiate because Manta style, they're going to throw down that tombstone. And those zombies do block hooks. So
I didn't even think about that.
It's going to be really difficult for whoever's on this Clockwork to play that sort of disengagement hero, which means Crimson Guard got to be on top of their game for the first 20 minutes, and then they can start cruising to victory.
Yeah, Clock in fights is like, he really wants to start the fights, and Warlock really likes to follow up, and so does Phoenix, right? So he's going to look for Wyvern, and then whatever comes after that.
Huskar. All right, so Huskar versus Ember. That is such a hard lane for Ember. Like,
That's if I was playing Ember this game, I would not want to play Ember this game.
I know, right? Like, I did see. I was watching some Storm games earlier today and yesterday, and a couple of those did have an Ember who got rocked by Storm in the lane, and he went and recovered the same way that Storm does. He was on the Radiant side, and who was playing that? I think it was just a high tier pub player, like some immortal player. I don't think it was a pro, but he went back and did the same, like those two camps that Storm will farm in the Radiant jungle,
Yeah.
as well as the Radiant offlane jungle, that two camp, and you just kept those stacked up and used the Radiance, the Fire Flame Guard to farm that up.
Yeah. You can once you have like level 3 Flame Guard
And Remnants. He actually used all 3 Remnants to take one of those camps.
Was it a stack?
Yeah, it was like a 4-stack.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that got him his Battle Fury in that game. So he managed to recover even after being forced out of lane like at level 4. So since Crimson Guard are on Radiant this time, they can do that and recover even after Huskar forces them out of the lane. And I would like to see that out of Crimson Guard. Also, the Flame Guard is actually relatively good as long as you're paying attention. Like, you don't want to get 5 or 6 stacks of Burning Spears up on you if you're Bobo right now. But if you only get 3 or 4 stacks, like, probably you're going to be totally fine.
I mean, the question is, like, what do you do if he just sits on your high ground all game, right?
Your Warlock ganks.
Yeah,
but
okay.
no, we are gonna see Avalanche on the Phoenix and Sunny on the Clockwork. So your Clockwork is gonna have to run at mid lane and make space for you.
Another thrilling match.
But let's go ahead and see who is playing on what. Oracle was banned out this game, so Live Grade is going to be playing on a Winter Wyvern at this time. Frogger playing on the safe lane, Phantom Lancer, mid lane being picked up by that Huskar, played by and off lane Fire Fist going on the Axe, Retman playing on the Undying. Safe lane, Sidlow picking up the Animage once again, and we're going to see Abomination coming up toward this mid lane on the 5 position Warlock. Avalanche coming in the area as well, just making sure he...
I think Avalok's gonna go mid.
Mid. Oh, okay. Mid Phoenix. Avalanche picking that hero up for the mid lane, and then Bobo to Pro going up in the off lane with mid items, but also some extra regen of his own. On the Ember, Sunny joining him in there on that 4 position Clockwork.
I really, really like this decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, at this point, what does a Phantom Lancer do in this kind of lane? Like, you can't walk at the creeps at all.
You try to spam it out. I mean, you have a Wyvern too, but generally you just buy a Soul Ring in a bad lane and just spam out your spell.
So we're going to see the Battery Assault skilled level 1 for Frogger. Frogger has already skilled that Spirit Lance, can't still skill a Doppelganger or anything to get away. Sunny's going to take a lot of damage in return, but now Bobo Pro is going to come in with that Flame Guard. Sunny is taking some damage here, and eventually Bobo Pro is going to lose out the Flame Guard due to the burn out of Live Grade. So that Arctic Burn is going to do at least enough work to ensure the survival of the PL, but that's a lot of regen you got to burn. I mean, it's going to be the salve, right? Oh, he does have a salve and 9 tangos started with, so.
He already used 2 lances as well, so his mana pool in the early game is not very good.
Avalanche now here with, he should be okay in terms of getting CS in this lane. He does have a Blade of Attack starting just to maximize his bonus damage. So he does have 53 right now up to the... Oh, it's the same thing. Do these heroes usually get Blade of Attack for their starting item? Is that like a thing that I missed?
Huskar?
Huskar or Avalanche and both have a Blade of Attack as their starting lane item.
Avalok does not have one.
Oh, I can't... Never mind. I can't actually click on people. Okay, does Huskar usually start with the Blade of Attack?
Depends on the build. Sometimes you do, but he's just gonna try and rush an armlet, probably.
Oh yeah, that builds into armlet now. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, phase boots. That doesn't... Okay, armlet though.
Phase,
Totally makes
actually, phase on Husker is good as well.
sense. He has treads queued up though. Avalanche trying to get those fire spirits out. Gonna take 5 burning spears here, but it's not gonna be quite enough. Meanwhile, Redman actually gets the first blood here. Gonna not even die to the tower. Abomination able to cancel the salve, but the salve is gonna ensure the survival of Redman there. First blood going the way of Manta Style onto Sidlow, who, you know, can't be too happy about that result. But I mean, it is what it is. You got to play the game as it exists. He was able to catch up very well in the last game, not lose his head, and I expect the same out of him this time. Boba Pro and Sunny fighting up Manta here in the top lane. Frogger's going to get stunned up by those steering chains, and now Boba is going to try to get some of the damage out here. Not quite able to sit there on the camp, and now he might be the one in trouble. There's not a Splinter Blast available yet. Level 2 hasn't come the way of those Winter Wyverns, so Boba is able to get back and pop that salve. Meanwhile, Frogger, though, he's able to get his level 2. Mana is burned. Oh, man. Insult to injury. But now Frogger says, I'll just farm those up. Farm up those cogs, rather. Avalanche, did he recall a salve into this lane? Or did he just use all of his tangos?
I have no idea. I wasn't watching.
Alright, well, now he does have his boots.
Either way, he healed up a little bit, and this is like an off-lane situation for Avo, I feel, in the mid lane.
Yeah, he just wants to not die, get some XP. Boba Pro is the one who wants to try to be farming, and he's doing alright. Actually, a pretty good job with that. 11 and 6. He's only behind the Huskar, who basically has a free lane right now. There's going to be the Splinter Blast out on the Sunny. Now, also the rush forward from Frogger. This is really greedy, but it doesn't really matter. He is going to be totally fine. Looks like Clockwork just wants to move away. Now going to turn on to Boba Pro. Hit him a few times. There's going to be a turnaround with the Searing Chains. That's going to do a lot of damage to Frogger, but Frogger still has 3 tangos in the salve. He brought all the regen to lane here to start, and that might be a saving grace in this lane that otherwise would be just utterly dominated by Crimson Guard right now. Sidlow getting healed up in the bottom lane by Abomination, but Abomination, as a result, down to 100 HP, in fact down to 20 HP. He is definitely going to die here to this final tick out. Not even able to get the Shadow Word off. Maybe 2 extra ticks, he would have been okay, but he will go down. Second kill going the way of Manta in this bottom lane.
This bot lane is actually like really strong from Manta style. Like, it's pretty hard for AM to walk up to the wave here, and Warlock is a very passive hero, and he wants to like stay far away from them, because if he gets battle hungered, he really doesn't have a way to like he can steal a last hit or a deny or whatever, right? But his health pool is really small.
Yep, Live Grade here is going to be forced to use that Arctic Burn to walk away from Sunny, who did get that Cogs and Battery Assault combo off onto him. And that's going to do quite a bit of damage to him, but Live Grade is going to be totally okay for the time being. Just starts to tango up. Sunny has to get back, but he's still at full HP and can afford to go again. Taking some damage from Splinter Blast, but it's not enough. They're going to come in. Looks like bowlers are going to come out. Yeah, it is, and that's probably going to be a kill. Yes, it will be. Boba Pro able to get that onto Live Grade. Now they're going to try to get onto Frogger. I know it's not probably going to actually end up with anything. They just want to get the burn on him and force him away. Frogger even there, feeling like he's forced to use that Spirit Lance to take a last hit under his tower. How is this mid lane going? I was actually taking quite a bit of damage. Avalanche just doing so much with these Fire Spirits right now, actually. I mean, I was down to 200 HP. It doesn't matter so much if you're a Huskar. Like, Fire Spirits are not going to kill you once you have that Berserker's Blood, and you do have the Inner Vitality, should you require it. Bottom lane gonna have... Sidlow taking quite a bit of damage there. Also has the Battle Hunger on him. And once again, diving under Retman, even using a level 2 Soul Rip. Doesn't have the Tombstone yet, but has several points in the Soul Rip. He's going to take some tower damage, but not enough to make anything happen. All these dots. It is countered out. I mean, more than countered out by the heal, the Shadow Word, but Warlock then has to stay back and pop Clarities, so it's not like the most effective thing in the world, like you normally would see. Frogger now, maybe he's gonna take, he's gonna get pushed back, does not have mana to use anything, and he is gonna get bowled up as well. Now they do even have the Battery Assault coming through. Sunny is gonna be able to take that down with the tick on his Battery Assault. And looks like AM gonna die once again here in the bottom lane. Abomination not having the Shadow Word again in time. And yeah, it's just these
Both
lanes.
these off lanes are just like destroying.
Yeah, it's an entirely like these safe lanes for each team. They don't have the tools to really play it the way they want, right? I would like to see both of these teams start rotating. Well, it's hard though, because like your off lanes are both winning, and your safe lanes are both losing. If you rotate your safe lane, they just rotate their off lane, and it's the same thing, right?
I mean, I don't think Sidlow really cares here, right? Because, like, you saw him play last game, and they just recovered so fast.
Yeah, and he's doing the same thing again. Like, he has his brown boots, has his stick, has his quelling blade, and he's gonna get the ring of health dreads probably around the same time as he did last game. And you're gonna see a dive here in mid lane, but that dive away from Avalanche with that Icarus. And now maybe no. One more tower shot.
40
would've done
health
it.
ish.
Not quite enough. Did have a fairy fire even if it was coming through. What were you saying?
He just like he got out on 40 health.
Yeah.
So one more right click or one more tower shot could have been the end.
He still had a fairy fire, so he was fine, I think.
That's true.
As well as the salve if another tower shot was really coming. But how is this going up here? Frogger, I mean, for the lane that he's having, Frogger's actually farming really well. Like 38 and 12, he's on top for his team, and or rather 37 and 7. He is just behind the Huskar and keeping up with the Ember Spirit in this lane, like pretty even. And now they're going to try to force away Boba Pro. He's forced to use that Flame Guard defensively, and a lot of their strength in this game has been on using it offensively. It looks like is able to get a kill from the Burning Spears after the Flare comes in from Clockwork.
Yeah, he dove, or not dove him, but he went on him like right here. And well, Phoenix was trying to walk away.
Yeah, and then I presume the Clockwork Flare was part of that as well?
I don't think so. I think he died before the flare got there.
Oh, okay.
It was just like a safety precaution.
Yep. Alright, so now Sunny actually considering just walking under the tower here. He does have quite a bit of, quite a bit of HP at this point. Boba Pro just forcing the Doppelganger out, and at that point you're totally just happy about it. Getting extra, 15, 20 gold out of those illusions. Not a whole lot, but that adds up. Just like Spiderlings. I mean, not as quickly as Spiderlings because there's not as many, but it does add up. Sidlow, he's missing 12 strength right now, so he takes so much damage just a single soul rip.
Oh, like his
16.
health pool right now is 430.
Yeah, it's gonna get some of that back, especially with the heal. Like, it does make the Shadow Word more efficient, but at the same time, like, you're so vulnerable right now. There's a fight up here in top lane. Frogger almost going down. He's gonna get Cold Embrace. His mana's gonna get burned a little bit, and he's gonna have to burn the Doppelganger as well. Bobo Pro coming in, trying to get onto Frogger, canceling the salve, but Bobo doesn't have any spells left, not any mana. Sunny coming in with the battery, still getting a lot onto the correct one. Just out of chance, and the flare is used to finish him off as well. Live Grade is pushed back onto the tower, and Sunny gonna take, one tower shot, but doesn't even really matter for him at this point. Is trying to use his dominance in this lane to push down this tower. Avalanche just also trying to get some of these fire spirits off on him to keep that alive for the time being. Armlet here is finished for and he has that Armlet Soul Ring at 10 minutes. This is actually really huge for him because that's going to allow him to start moving into these other lanes as soon as he gets this tower down, which will come very, very shortly. We are going to see a bit of a fight here, looking for runes that was picked up by Boba Pro, and he's going to be able to take down Live Grade even through the Cold Embrace due to the tick down from that Flame Guard. Bottom lane, we're going to see an engagement as well. Fire Fist almost going down. Looks like if they're able to hit... No, he does eventually go down, yeah. He does get ticked down by that... not searing chains. Fatal Bond.
Fatal Bond.
Retman surviving down here, but man, he does so much damage to Animage with the heal, and it just with the Soul Rip, and it still doesn't end up mattering because because Abomination rather has the Shadow Word, but it's a lot more mana efficient for Undying than it is for Warlock. But what a pro
they actually brought this clock down here too. They're gonna try and really secure AM at this point.
Yeah, Abomination here in the mid lane. They're trying to get some kill or some movement here onto maybe as he's trying to take down his tower. One more right click though, and he is gonna get that out of the Armlet. now walking away. Meanwhile, Boba Pro and Frogger are fighting each other alone, or just fighting each other directly in the top lane, and now there's going to be Searing chained up. Boba Pro trying to go forward, he uses Triple Remnant, and now Frogger's the one on the back foot, trying to go onto him, and that will be a tick down. Trying to cancel the... He did try to cancel that Flame Guard with a final Spirit Lance, but it was not quite enough to bring
He
it
went
out.
for the Max Phantom Rush build.
Yeah, I do think in this lane you go for Max Spirit Lance, just so that you can get rid of the Flame Guard.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Yep.
I think having to be, or you really have to spam out in that lane. I mean, a Huskar rotation helps.
yeah, Bobo going down there to the... he was able to dodge an attack and also prevent an extra one and take some of the ticks away. We're going to see the ult used here out of Sidlow. He's getting healed up still. Sunny tries to get in. He is blocked up by those zombies. Sidlow was healed up entirely, though, by Warlock in the meanwhile. 4 people rotating down here into the bottom lane for Crimson Guard, and they're able to get 2 kills off of it in exchange for their Ember Spirit. Though, he's just going to keep pushing out this top lane. He says,
yeah, this Huskar going to try to make as much space as he can for his PL. Well, he actually can do that.
yeah, and
Before AM gets a lot of items, like Axe is gonna, like once Axe has his blink, they're gonna probably group us 4 and really just try to shut down this jungle. Like they're gonna learn from their mistakes from last game, hopefully.
yeah. There's nothing that Crimson Guard can do to this Huskar right now, but they can take objectives elsewhere. And it looks like that's what they're trying to do. They're starting to push in this mid lane with Bobo Pro now that he has some basic survivability items, has his BOTs, does have his, has his level 6, a little bit more than that, but having that Remnant is, of course, part of the deal. Library coming in, just trying to keep that pushed out, make sure that there's as much space as possible here. Top tower was taken by Huskar, and Huskar now is rotating down. Sunny has his hook up once again, so as this fight comes forward, I would expect some disruption. However, there's 4 down here in the bottom lane for Manta this time, and they just TP'd Abomination. No, they didn't just TP him. As he walked up, he's getting his TP back from base shortly. But is it shortly enough? And I think the answer is no. It does look like Crimson Guard are gonna just let this tower go down.
Yeah, Axe just got his blink, and they spotted that out. And like I said, they're just gonna really try and take over this bot lane in the jungle right now.
How is this Battle Fury coming along? 13 minutes. I mean, this is about... It's a little tiny bit slower than last game for Sidlow, but it's still pretty close to the pace that he had before. Like, I think at 13 minutes he was where he's at now, but he actually is confident enough... Oh, never mind, he is going to buy out that Void Stone. I was going to say he's confident enough he's going to get that Demon Edge before the Void Stone, but he does elect to get that Void Stone instead. Meanwhile, Bobo Pro, he has a haster in the top jungle. Looks like he's trying to find Frogger here. Abomination sees him out. They're going to go on to him. The Doppelganger up to the high ground, though. Gonna Remnant out. Meanwhile, Animage does find the bottom lane. Searing Chains comes out. Is going to hold Animage, or is going to hold Frogger in place for at least a short while. But now, Frogger has no way to get away. Bobo Pro coming forward. Doesn't want to burn any Remnants here. Going to throw out... Oh, even going to throw out the Golem here, but with the Winner's Curse, Golem is going to just hit onto Bobo Pro instead of Frogger. Haster, though, is used, trying to get in onto Frogger, but Livegrey making so much space right now. Now he has potentially turning around on Bobo Pro with that Flare giving vision, and Frogger is going to do that. Abomination is able to kill Livegrade, but he goes down for his trouble.
During that time, they just took this T2 for complete free, like no contest. Both of CG's strong heroes were in the top lane trying to take that fight, and they used Golem as well.
Yeah, the Winner's Curse was really big there. Frogger, it was so close because I thought the Golem was gonna tick Frogger to death even under the just with the AoE damage.
Yeah, I thought it would cleave like off of Bobo.
Oh yeah, I could have done that as well, but I don't think Frogger was quite in the cleave AoE. I think it was slightly behind the Golem. Manta is able to find another kill here on bottom lane onto Bobo Pro, and man, that really hurts right now for Crimson Guard because this is greedy. He's going for Battle Fury.
Yeah, it's greedy, but it's kind of like what he has to do, I feel.
I don't know. I'd rather see a Maelstrom this game. Like, I think the Maelstrom does what you need it to do versus the PL, at least for the time being. And you can go back for the Battle Fury, but the Maelstrom like gives you so much more oomph in the tower defenses, right?
Yeah. I think he went battle or started going Battle Fury in lane, and he's thinking like, okay, I'm having a good lane. I'll get a good Battle Fury timing. It'll just be like I'll farm while AM is like working on his Battle Fury, and then later in the game, once I have crits and blink and stuff, like I'll be able to kill PL for free, and AM has a lot more space. So I understand what he's thinking here, and I probably would have chosen the same thing. But the Maelstrom is definitely a good like middle ground item, like where if you want to defend towers and if you want to like play around your team a little bit more, then I would have gone Maelstrom. But they're playing like for the ultra late game here.
They figure they can't really fight into this mid game, so they're just gonna hope they can hold long enough to make it past it. Retman even burning the Flesh Golem here. The Flesh Golem actually with the slow is going to be really big in this fight, I think. An attempt to deny there by Bobo to Pro, but I was able to get the tower. Only losing the tower there.
Right now.
Yeah, now there's a blink forward. Gonna get onto 2, and it's the 2 that you don't want there. Warlock was looking for a Golem play, but he's not gonna have the opportunity. Supernova comes down, it's gonna force everyone away. They might be able to, yes, with the blink in and the Mana Void. That's gonna be the end of 3. Bobo Pro trying to finish off Bobo probably will take out these Burning Spears. There's no way to heal him up, but he does get the kill onto, and actually gets more gold than he gives up as a result. And that is exactly what Crimson Guard are looking for here. Like, 100%.
Sunny got a triple kill in that fight and straight up bought a Blade Mail. Like,
man. So that was that off the flares and the hooks? Because that was like over here on the backside. I was a little bit further looking at the engagement between AM, Huskar, and Bobo.
yeah, I don't know. I think he just sort of accidentally took a few kills. It's clockwork. You never really know. Like he'll take one with flare,
One with
take,
battery
like
assault.
one with battery assault.
Maybe a power cogs will actually do enough damage to get a kill.
Yeah.
Just at the wrong tick.
But this blade mail is actually so important. Like blade mail and a force staff this game are huge.
Absolutely. So we are going to see probably the end of Live Grade here. Firefist comes in, gets a call, but it's only on to Phoenix. Phoenix might go down, but he still has his dive. He is able to Icarus away. Now we're going to see Sunny hookshot in, and there's a 4-man turnaround. Abomination doesn't need an Echo Slam. He has a Golem. Tries to get a still off. It's not quite enough. There's a lot of zombies in the area. Abomination is going to go down. The blade mail was not enough, and also we're going to see the call on Bobo, so he's going to end up dying as well. It is a good pick off to start, and they had the counter engagement almost there, but the Tombstone got down a little bit too early, and Manta, they are able to take that fight.
The most important part of that fight to me is that they committed the golem, right? So even when Warlock's alive, it doesn't matter because, like, say you get 2-man, 3-man bonds, and he has no golem. Like Warlock's not going to do damage to you. If Ember's not there, you're really just not going to take damage.
Yeah, so a little bit of chip damage on this tier 3 for Manta style, but they are going to go ahead and back themselves away. Looks like maybe they're angling towards the Roche play, especially with that.
I would
with that
not
Arcane
be surprised if Huskar just walks into Roche and takes it by himself.
Yeah, with the Arcane Rune especially, like they can just have Retman sit there and tank it if they get Winter Wyvern over here. But looks like Live Grade comes up with the top lane instead, trying to farm up his. I'm totally missing. It's the Shadow Cloak.
Shadow Amulet?
No, not the amulets. The Glimmer.
Glimmer Cape?
Yeah. So no Roshan play, but there's going to be the dive forward. Sidlow does have a blink.
Sidlow's taking so much damage.
Yeah, he switched to Strike Treads even, and it's still just ticking him out so quickly. He used up the wands. Even bought out his Yasha recipe because he wasn't sure if he was going to survive there. He is okay, but...
Now they go towards Roche.
Yeah, this is going to be the Roche play now. Bobo Pro, though, he's in a good position to try to punish that by pushing in this top lane. And yeah, Frogger... Bobo even actually, did he get the dodge with that Sleight of Fist, or did Frogger, like, target a creep?
I don't think he got the dodge. I think, it just hit Flame Guard, right?
Okay. Yeah, I
And
wasn't
did no
100%
damage.
sure on where that went, but... Roshan is going to go down, is making room in his inventory. He will be taking this Aegis. And this is, I think, the earliest Aegis we've seen in this series at 21 minutes. There was Abomination
Absolutely.
sitting over here, has a ward down, was killing off with a sentry. Oh man, that was close. He was really greedy on that.
He had
But he
no
gets out
idea they
alive.
were rushing.
And yeah, that Aegis is picked up by and that's gonna be the cue for Manta to just push up this mid lane. And they can do it. Like there's no I don't know how Crimson Guard defend this. Like I almost feel like you just give up a lane, but at that point you're not just giving up one lane. Like you're giving up two, maybe even three. It's so hard right now for Crimson Guard to fight into Manta style. BKB is up as well for as well, like on the Aegis. Tombstone is now committed. It might be a little early. This might be sort of what they're looking for. Gonna go ahead and start hitting it. Though he is looking for the life break. Actually, he's gonna hit the tower instead. There's the blink though, and the call on to Bobo to Pro. Supernova is committed. Gonna get enough zone out to start or save Bobo for the time being. And even with the soul rip onto the Tombstone, Tombstone goes down. Amazing hook shot out from Sunny and a 4-man link with the Golem by Abomination, and he, even though he dies, is just gonna turn this fight around. Well, maybe he's gonna turn this fight around. There's a buyback from Winter Wyvern. So far, and Manta, or and Frogger have been fighting over on the backside, but they've not managed to kill off the heroes they're looking for. Avalok actually getting a couple kills there, and the hook shot up again. Was that a wait, did he just walk in instead of hooking shot last time? There's going to be the cogs onto 2, and that's going to be the end. Tidlow getting the ult off onto 2 heroes. They're getting a double kill, and that will also be the end of, he's going to fight up against Frogger directly. Tidlow has Battle Fury, so he can fight up against the Illusion. He's going to link forward. Abomination comes in even with the link, and this will almost certainly be the end of Frogger with everything that he has on him in ticks.
He has a purge.
Close. Purge up. He is able to survive for the time being. Tidlow cannot blink forward. He is diffused out of mana. However, Frogger has no TP, no way to get in, so he is eventually going to go down. And that was the defense. Like, I feel like every time I say that Crimson Guard, they have such a hard defense to make, and I don't even know how they managed to do it. Well, they figure it out. And this time, again, Abomination, just massive turnaround plays. Like, that was a 4-man Fatal Bonds and Chaotic Offering, all on the very, very edge. Like, that Chaotic Offering hit a stun here, 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 and here. With the Aegis burn here, it would have hit 5 if Huskar had not died that quickly. That was
Hook shot forward in the mid
amazing.
lane.
Yeah,
On
another
to
hook
live.
shot, and it looks like it's going to be Halberd coming out for Sunny as his next item, skipping the Force Staff, not going for the Aghanims, but wants to make sure that he's able to keep the enemy Huskar from hitting anybody, or even PL. Like, Halberd on PL, once all of his illusions are up, not going to do a whole lot, but if you get the hook shot off early, get the Halberd, he can make a couple of illusions on you, but you know which one the real one is.
What I'm thinking, yeah, is like, you just gotta know which one's real. That's the important part, in my opinion.
And Avalanche playing really cheeky here. He might go down just a little bit. Oh no, I was gonna say a little bit short. That was not an aggressive flare, but a defensive one.
If I would have liked to see Frogger like save the Phantom Rush and use it after he dove, after Icarus dive was over, or during Icarus dive, I should say. But it's kind of a hard play to make, so I probably would have just ran at him too.
Yeah, Sidle blinking forward, not the place he really wanted to be. I don't know if he didn't realize the enemy heroes were there, but they were in vision. Were they smoked? Don't think they were.
done.
Blink forward from Fire Fist, able to get the chop. And now it looks like they want to try to find some more. They got a TP out on the side of Crimson Guard. They're switching TPs into their backpack like they're ready. And looks like Bobo's already back home. Or not even back home, he's just in bottom lane instead. Looks like where is his remnant? Do you see where Bobo's remnant is on the map right now?
Up top.
Ah, okay.
taking damage.
He comes back up here, and he's playing super greedy back here on the back lines, trying to cut the wave. And
Yeah, I really like this play.
yeah, there are two waves that, or there is only one wave that has to be killed actually. So as long as this wave gets nuked to death, they should only lose a tower on the side for Crimson Guard. If they lose anything at all, like they've had some amazing tower defenses, and that Link Golem is up again. Hookshot is available. Supernova is available. I honestly, as surprised as I would be, I wouldn't be surprised if Crimson Guard hold this flawlessly.
Look how much damage the Huskar's just taking.
Yeah, that's pure what is that? I can't see it because it's just an egg right now, but the Supernova holding people back for the time being, and that creep wave is gone. There are no creep waves on the map at all for Manta style. The closest one is here.
That creep cut play was so good, I think. It was a little bit greedy. Like, if he got caught out, then he was in a bad spot. But, like, it's risk versus reward, right? And the reward is very high in that case.
Yeah, they held flawlessly. They lost, like, 400 HP on this top tower, and that was everything. And it looks like they're going to try for it again. One more set of waves, but there's still cuts happening. Bobo actually is going to push into this lane.
They're actually just really cut off here. AM isn't even there.
He doesn't have a TP. Like, he can come whenever he wants. He's going to go for the split himself. Like, they know they don't want to take a fight directly. They just want to kill off these creep waves, and then there's going to be the hookshot forward, able to get onto and Us taking a lot of damage, just hitting Sunny with the blade mail, so has to try to hit somebody else. Bobo Pro is back. He's going to have to get away, but now he can't bottle up or heal away, but he's not taking any damage from the burning spears. Doesn't matter. Abomination is going to get Splinter Blasted, and Bobo actually dodged it. I thought Bobo was dead there for sure with the
Winner's Curse saved him.
The Winner's Curse saved him, but then the Splinter Blast I thought was going to kill him. Oh man, dying mid-leap for a Huskar. Buyback is used by Sunny in order to just scare everyone away. Actually, he TP's in and is doing a lot of work here. Man, right now, Crimson Guard are playing out of their minds, like using every trick in the book that they can come up with and holding these lanes out. And they're pushing down mid lane themselves. Want to force out a buyback. Are there any available from Manta style? Looks like no. There's a buyback on Axe, but he's already alive,
Undying.
so yeah.
Undying has buyback as well, but he is alive right now too.
Yeah, it's Crimson Guard. They've held for a very long time. They've done a very good job of this. Manta very far in the back lines right now, looking for this kill on Abomination, but not quite gonna find it. He's just gonna take the creep cut of his own. He says, you know, you wanna cut on me, I'll just cut on you. Avalok now does have his Spirit Vessel as well, so that's going to be incredibly impactful. Once that Huskar's BKB is down, he will not be able to heal out from that Inner Vitality, and that is potentially game-changing. Additionally, like, there's a lot of heals just generally, right? Like Retman, he's not going to be able to Soul Rip whoever he wants to go on. The Cold Embrace not going to do as much. At this point, Crimson Guard are ahead. I believe it's the first time. Yeah, this is the first time in this whole game they've been ahead in net worth. And I believe if we look at the win probability, it's ticking up back towards them. Honestly, I expected it to be a lot further in their direction, but Dota Plus knows what's up. So it's still a very even game for both teams right now. And
It could still go either way here, for sure.
This is like a max length Aegis spawn. There's going to be a leap forward from and Sidlow.
Yes, Satanic.
The Satanic, though, it doesn't matter. He's going to get hookshot up. Sunny, he's still going to get some Satanic out. Now there's the egg coming out on the backside. They don't want to go under the tombstone, but Manta don't want to go into the egg either, so both those ults being used just to give the AoE denial, and that's going to provide the extraction that Crimson Guard are looking for here.
I'm a little surprised that they didn't want to go for more. I guess they were. I meant on Manta style. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
They popped the egg and Huskar was on the high ground, and I guess they just probably thought, okay, they have Golem. Like, they wouldn't be fighting here if they didn't have Golem.
Yeah, yeah. Abomination was... I don't think he was showing, but he wasn't showing on the map, and the Golem would have disrupted to get the Supernova stun off, so...
It was still on cooldown for like 10-15 seconds at the time, but it's hard to say for during the game when it's not up.
We do have a Blade Mail out for Retman now as well, so it's a little bit harder for him to go down, but a lot of the damage that comes out from the team of Crimson Guard, like, they don't really care as much about the Blade Mail. They care, but, you know, it's whatever. Tombstone committed onto the high ground. Fort as well. Looks like they want to go for a trade here. So they're going to get the tower. Sidlow is going to stay here to push the barracks, and they are going to take Obito Pro back to try to fight. Is going to take quite a bit of damage here. Now he's going to get healed up with his BKB on. This is maybe a little bit not what they're looking for. Oh, but Sunny, he is not going to get the hook shot he's looking for due to those Tombstone zombies, and now there's going to be the Winner's Curse into the two-man call. That's going to be the end of Obito Pro. No, it's not. He's going to get the dodge off. And he's actually still alive. Golem out onto 5 with the link. Bobo eventually goes down, but that Golem is just turning things around so hard right now. Is forced to take it out on his own. Library almost dying just to the tick as takes a lot of damage. He's killing the rest of his team.
They did get the bot rack.
Yeah, bot racks, it's an even trade. Frogger's forced away, and now they're going to try to go for a top racks to make this trade more than even, but
Bobo
it's a
still has
harder one.
buyback.
Yeah, no buyback on Sunny, but it might not matter. This Sunray does so much.
Poor live grid.
Yeah, Avalok
he showed at the wrong time.
And that's going to be the end. Buyback immediately. However, oh no, the Tombstone. Tombstone is going to eventually get popped, but that gives the opportunity for Sidlow to come in. Is using his armor. Eventually, Sidlow, though, with that mini stun from his ult, able to kill him down. Retman, there's no stun to stop him from TPing away, so he's able to get out. But buyback forced from Winter Wyvern, no buyback forced from Bobo Pro, and still an even trade on Rex. Crimson Guard, I honestly am just like stunned at how well they're holding their barracks or holding their base in this game with a team that you don't typically think of as like a high ground defense team, right? Like, yeah, they have Supernova, yeah, they have Chaotic Offering, but they can only use those once every 2 minutes.
Spirit.
The Ember is the big one, but he just now got his Crystallis in the last fight.
He didn't even have it in the last fight. He just bought it, like, when he respawned.
To make sure he had the buyback?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
but
so he's not been doing much damage in holding these. Like, it's been all on taking the split push in this game for them. There's no way, really, for Manta to punish split push, and they have to group up to take any buildings, and they're getting punished for that themselves. There's the hook shot forward by Sunny. The Glimmer Cape is used, as well as Tombstone. Retman taking a lot of damage, though, just from that. Now, a blink forward from Sidlow. He's going to take down the Winter Wyvern. That's a dieback. Going to get onto Retman as well. There's 2 Tombstones. That's 300 gold. Sidlow's like, I'll take all that. Thank you very much. Actually, 400 gold. Excuse me. Fire Fist is going to get changed up. Now there's going to be a Remnant forward and a Remnant back in order to finish him off there. So that's 3 kills. What do we have for buybacks available? Looks like Huskar has 1. Axe
and Undying both have them.
Too. So the only hero that's not alive for Manta should Crimson Guard choose to push right now is Winter Wyvern. Axe is going to go ahead and do the buyback as they see the walk into the pit from Crimson Guard. TPing in, they're going to take this fight 4v5. Or at least they're going to try for it, but they're not actually going to get it. Going to go into the Roche pit. Sidlow is waiting for an opportunity. Manta and Fire Fist and Sidlow up here just playing it out. Call is used, but now Fire Fist has no mana, and there is still the opportunity to purge Battle Hunger if he desires it from Sidlow. Has not elected to do so yet. Bobo Pro, meanwhile, on the backside, just hitting everyone every 4 seconds with that Sleight of Fist. And these buybacks, not going to do a whole lot just yet. They're delaying the Roshan for sure, but they're trying to go. There's the hook shot forward. Has a blade mail available, so now Frogger, he's forced to just doppelganger away. And there's a lot of area denial coming out from those cogs. So we're going to see the Tombstone drop as well. Sidlow able to get the kill off onto Undying. 2 Tombstones in the fight now, but there's a turnaround with the Golem. Sunny is going to take a lot of damage off, using his ult there to get onto him, as well as, looks like, how did Animage die on the backside of that? Fire Fist actually able to chop him down. It looks like Avalanche is forced to move away. Does have the Supernova, is going to use it while he's on the low ground. Manta trying to get over there, but it's not going to be quite long enough. However, it's still 4 down so far. Avalanche is going to have to run away with the, now with the extended range Icarus dive. He will survive.
They only have buyback
The
on the Ember Spirit here.
Is it a timing or a gold? Looks like it's a gold thing. That's a really big mistake from Crimson Guard. Manta, they want to force this buyback. They're not even going for the Roshan. They just want to force the buybacks out. Avalanche trying to get the gold in time for his team, picking up those runes, but it's not going to be enough. And buyback comes out from Warlock. They are going to have...
It's everyone except AM here.
Yeah, AM's not there. The Ember is going to be able to do a lot with all of these PL illusions, but PL has Heart now, and they're going to Boba Pro. He doesn't have a Remnant back. Oh man, he's going to go for it. Moves
He dodged
back.
the life break.
That was
but he
an
blocked the hook
amazing
shot.
dodge. Sunny gets up there, just walks up to with his blade mail cogs. Now he's trying to keep onto him. There's going to be the light of his steering chains combo, and not being able to use that. Oh man, he tried so hard to use the defusal there, but he got disarmed by Sunny, making so many plays here. Eventually, Avalok does go down, but it's going to cost Manta Style. Live Grade comes in, he's trying to turn this around, but even without moving items into backpack, Boba Pro is not going to be able to kill off Sunny, who has 2500 HP and a halberd and 22 armor at this point. Like, Bobo's not that farmed yet.
Maybe a saving grace that Bobo isn't as farmed as they'd like.
Yeah. I mean, he could have moved items into his backpack if he was that far.
Clocked it up by back.
Okay, there's going to be a solo smoke used by Retman. What's that?
It's a ward.
He just used it, though, after placing the ward.
Maybe it was a misclick.
I suppose, yeah. So that's going to be
just wanted
Aegis.
to get out of there as fast as possible.
And she's going the way of Sidlow. So Aegis going for Bobo. She's going for Sidlow. If we look at net worth, Bobo does need the Aegis because he does not have buyback timing, I believe. Oh no, he didn't even use it.
He did use it, yes.
So that's going to be this mid tower. Pretty easily picked up by Crimson Guard. And now they're the ones who are going to be pushing up into the high ground. Manta, you said they're undefeated going into this, right?
Yes, they were. Are, I should say.
So there's the two-man call. Fire Fist playing as hard as he can right now. Is going to try for the chop, but not quite going to get it. There's going to be the Remnant back from Boba to Pro. He's able to get out. Sidlow getting a massive, massive Mana Void off, and that's going to be the end of the Axe. Axe does not have buyback, it looks like. There's going to be the hookshot forward from Sunny. That is going to be the end of the Winter Wyvern as well, who has already died back once and is dying back once again. Going to take some damage from the Blade Mail, but he knows he's not going to be the one dying out here. Sunny gets the disarm off. He will eventually die. Frogger finishing him off there, but so far only there's a buyback from Frogger to make that happen, and the only death, I believe, from Crimson Guard was their Clockwork, yeah.
They did have to buy back the PL.
Yeah, they do still, I believe, have the Aegis, yeah. Bobo was able to Remnant out of that after the Axe call. It was so close.
He got, no, he got Supernova.
Oh, it was, he has Aghanims on the Supernova?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's what happened there. I thought he just Remnanted out, but yeah, not even burning the Aegis. Have they burned the cheese? They have burned the cheese, but I mean, they're going to have Abyssal Blade here. It looks like, since he has buyback available, I'd expect him to be saving it up, but maybe he's going to just buy out. Yeah, he's just going to buy out the Abyssal. Wants to make sure he has that hard lockdown for Frogger if he sees him alone without his illusion friends, or even
just for the Huskar, right?
Yeah, it could also be like for the BKB Satanic. Like, I have to wait for
if he pops the Satanic when he's like fairly low and he just gets like Abyssal Blade on him, like that's game over for Huskar.
Yeah. They do have the Halberd to deal with that when there's no BKB, but having the additional option like just is gonna end this Huskar, who's been really dominant in this game, and they definitely have the items to deal with it at this point. How is Boba Pro doing? Well, he has his Daedalus finished, his first one at least. Maybe his last if he goes for a Divine. Certainly wouldn't mind seeing a Divine in this game. There's going to be the call out from Fire Fist, and that should be the end of the Warlock, but he's going to get his Glimmer Cape off. Sentry used by a live grade. Abomination is able to get the, is going to be able to get the Shrine tick up, as well as getting his own Shadow Word off on him, so that feels bad if you're Manta Style. Like, you get a call off onto a solo Warlock with your Winter Wyvern there to assist, and you can't do anything about it, even though he doesn't get any friends to help. Like, that's difficult to play against. Like, now when probability is starting to go, we see a 10k, 7k, but it's been 10k gold lead, next speed lead in favor of Crimson Guard. Yeah, how is Sunny doing right now? He's like farming up so much at this point because he doesn't even have the bonus rocket flare damage. I was gonna say has the bonus flare damage. He's not at that level. Just using it to farm out the waves without even getting that extra plus 25, plus 125. Or do you think he gets the magic resistance this game to deal with the Huskar?
The spell shield.
Sunny, the clockwork. Do you think he gets the rocket flare damage or the magic resistance?
The flare damage is definitely better for pushing out waves. The magic resist, I don't think he cares that much about because he does have a blade mail and a halberd. If he's just worried about Huskar, which is basically their only magic damage other than Wyvern and Lance, then I don't think it's that big of a problem. You go for flare damage, and you get to push out waves, or you go for magic resistance and you can use your halberd on someone else, is basically how this goes, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the halberd's nice if you can get it on to Frogger here, and you know you're getting on the right one, but it's so hard against the PL to do that. Especially since he's about to have his own BKB. So Boba Pro still just pushing out these lanes. Aegis is going to be expiring here in 6 seconds, so they don't want to go and make any pushes right now. Yeah, Sunny just working up his level 16 over here. Abomination working up his own level 16 as well. Now here's an interesting one. Abomination's been making some really, really big plays with the Golem and then dying, because, you know, that's what a Warlock does. Does he go for the Summon Golem on death to get the extra one, or does he get the 300 Shadow Word AoE just to get that bonus HP regen on his team in these fights?
The Golem on death, I personally feel, is better this game. The Shadow AoE is okay, but his team is just, like, generally all over the place. Like, Ember moves around a lot, AM has Blink, Phoenix is never there, like, or never in the middle of things, and he has Egg to regen himself, and the hookshot he's going to be separated, right? He's going to look for a high priority target. So I'd go for the Golem on death, especially, like, he's a pretty squishy hero. Like, his big power spike is when he uses his ult, and he's been hitting really good ults this game. So if he hits one good ult, a good ult and a good fatal bonds, and then he dies and he gets another golem, I'd be happy. And like the Shadow Word AoE, like you might get it on 2 people to heal up your team, and you might hit it on like an enemy or something.
Well, I'm thinking more for the roast play and the like. When they're playing defensively, yeah, they're really spread out in these fights. But when they're playing offensively, like they can say they're like sitting back here before the tower, right? And they use that 300 AoE to get their whole team shadow worded before they push up the high ground. Like they can spread out at that point, and they're still gonna have that regen for a good like what 10 seconds, 12.
Yeah.
12.
But he does end up opting for the Golem on death here.
Yeah, totally reasonable.
Man, that's 68 XP or 60% XP gain. So good, actually.
Yeah,
that's so much.
Lunacy. The XP talents, like they all had to be nerfed, didn't they? There's gonna be a fight up here in top lane. Boat Pro does not have a remnant back. Tries to get one of the trees, but he's gonna get chased down by Frogger, who is gonna use his BKB, reveal that for the first time, and Fireface gonna get the call off, and that'll be the end of Boba Pro here in the top lane. He does have buyback, but he's dead for 2 minutes if he doesn't use it. So Manta, they want to try to push off this, but there isn't Roshan available, and we don't know what time it's going to spawn here for another 45 seconds or so. And I don't know how. At this point, it's so hard, right? Sunny has not gotten his level 20 yet, so he's actually been having a little bit of difficulty getting his levels up. Not really being given the priority to make sure he has that. But he should have it.
I think he's okay with this, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay with it. And probably the next book. I can't see the cooldown on the books. But probably the next book is going to go his way if he doesn't get his level 20 by then. But I certainly would expect him to at 50 minutes. Avalanche is... not Avalanche. Zidlo is pushing in top lane. Trying to get that split off again. Not in position to get the cut. And in fact, Retman is sitting over here waiting for... was waiting for some stuff with the courier. But also he's in position to block the cut. Yeah. Sidlow is just going to keep pushing in top lane, it looks like. Bottom lane's already pushing for Crimson Guard, so they're going to try for the split, it looks like. It's really hard, like, they can't really kill off the catapults unless they bring AM back. So he is going to, yeah, not even going to bother cutting, he's just going to hit the buildings instead. But he has to go for tier 4s if he wants this. There's going to be a pretty big upheaval out from Abomination. He does have his ult and could get a link off. There's a tombstone burned as well. They're trying really hard to hold right now. Tier 4s are going down. AM is still pushing. Let's see, he has come back at this point. So there's going to be the Clockwork Hook. Manages to find the right one, as well as the Link and Golem combination. Leap forward from, and now there's going to be a pretty big Winner's Curse. That's going to keep them from taking any damage, but there's a call immediately afterwards. 3-man call with all of the zombies. That's going to be at least one death. In fact, nobody dies just yet. The Aghanims on that Supernova doing so much work. Boba the Pro tries to CP away, but he's going to end up being pulled back. Frogger does eventually die.
Huskar TP's in.
He's come back. He's going to go ahead and hit this.
They have no
catapults.
carries alive.
Abomination is going to get hit up by, but he's going to get his Glimmer Cape off. Sunny now is dead. Buyback from Animage, buyback from Clockwork. They were waiting for that buyback on Animage. He comes forward, is going to get, oh, but no. I was going to say that's the end of the Huskar, but he gets a fantastic pike off. Oh my god, the ult from Sidlow. He kills everybody as a result, and that is a successful defense with another barracks down and the tier 4s. I honestly think if Sidlow had stayed, they would have won the game already. And even without that, they still might. That defense was unholy.
AM was pretty important in the defense in the end, but...
He was, but by the time he came back and then died and then bought back into the fight, I feel like he could have taken the buildings.
Perhaps.
But they might still take the buildings anyway. There's no Huskar for this. And Huskar does not have buyback for 7 minutes. That was a dieback, actually, for him in that fight, as well as for the Undying, so...
It's no Ember either, though, so they're a little bit wary of taking this fight with, you know, they don't really have a PL answer.
Yeah, it would be a dieback if they lose AM here, and Roshan is up, so this Refresher Shard going the way of Avalok, I would assume. Maybe Abomination, actually. Yeah, it's going the way of Abomination.
It's probably going to Warlock.
Cheese and Aegis potentially both going the way of Sidlow. Maybe Cheese going Sunny's way to make more use of the blade mail because he's been using that a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sidlow doesn't really have the slots. I'd probably give Cheese to Clock here.
They're just gonna Cheese. Who's gonna pick it up? Yeah, Sunny's gonna pick it up. So what did he get? Did he get the flare damage? No, he took the magic resist. So he is trying to get the use the blade mail to do more damage, and just keep himself from being hit up by those burning spears too much.
Yeah, he just wants to live through Huskar so that he can use his spells on other people. I respect it.
Link forward from Sidlow, and there's also gonna be a hook shot onto Fire Fist, who is gonna use the Glimmer Cape in order to hold himself back. There's the ult coming out, but the Winter Wyvern and the Winter's Curse that time not as good as you really want to see. Everyone's alive though. Sidlow has to be really careful right here. He does not have boots. He's just getting run back right now. Tombstone's going to go down, at least the first one. Massive, massive Sleight of Fist coming out from Boba the Pro, and that Tombstone does eventually go down. Meanwhile, it looks like nobody's died just yet. Blink forward from Mana, but that is not going to be a kill on anybody. That was an illusion. He thought it was the real one. Now the Supernova is going to be complete, and that's going to be a stun onto 3. They're going to not even the Golem comes out as well. And that's going to be the end of 3. All the cores on Manta Style are dead. They have no buybacks, and that is the end. GG. Well played. Manta Style undefeated coming into this game. Crimson Guard taking it off of them and continuing into the upper bracket, while Manta Style has to fight through the lower.
Now, if I've ever seen a third game of a series...
Yeah, that game was intense.
That was a really good game to watch and commentate.
Man, Crimson Guard had to pull out everything this game. Like, they were so close to losing for, I mean, they almost lost, what, like 6 times?
Yeah, like that last push, they were going straight for the throat. Like, they wanted the game to end. They used all buybacks, and there was just, like, one misplay in the fight from Manta Style, and they just completely capitalized on it. Like, Huskar popped his Satanic, and they used Winter's Curse at the same time. So he had no one to heal off of, and they just took so much of an advantage of that. Like, Huskar was low, he instantly died. So he was forced to buy back TP in, and then if Huskar was dead, they couldn't fight after that. And,
and then after the buyback, like, he was so close to getting away as well, and just expecting he was standing next to the Winter Wyvern who had no mana. Sidlow came in and mana voided the Winter Wyvern, and that was the end of the Huskar as well. Even with the Glimmer Cape on him, even with the Berserker's Blood down at 70 HP. Just did so much damage there that it didn't matter.
Yeah, one mistake coming like from the side of CG, like if they mess up one base defense, the game's over for them, and they played almost perfectly through all the base defense segments.
Yeah, they seems like they're just absolutely masterful at holding their base, because that's been the story for both of the games they won, right? Like they were behind, and then Manta couldn't break high ground.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, I gotta say, Abomination this series played out of his mind. Like every single game, he showed up, and like I honestly think, as everyone played fantastically in this third game, but I think Abomination won the second game for his team.
His Earthshaker was just like, it was so good.
Yeah, it was absolutely dominant.
He hit, how many 4-man Echo Slams did he hit that game? Like,
I don't know. It was
5?
so many. And then like there were the 4-man Echo Slams, and then the 5-man Fissures afterwards. Like just
Yeah.
absolutely perfect positioning and play in game
Like,
2 from him.
You see it a little bit less as Warlock, but like, how many 4-man, like 3-man, 4-man golems and like 4-man fatal bonds were in that game, right? Like,
Yeah, and all the links, getting the upheavals off whenever he had it available, and just saying, "Oh, I know you're gonna come and kill me, but you're gonna get so far deep. There's gonna be hookshot in. There's gonna be supernova to punish you for coming to kill me, and eventually my Animage and my Ember Spirit will just clean you all up." And he played his role. I was like, how is Abomination gonna show us this same 4-position turnaround style of gameplay on a Warlock? He did it, and he did it flawlessly.
yeah, I'd definitely be giving my MVP to him.
For sure. All right, so it is after midnight here. I am exhausted, so we're going to go ahead and cut it out. I've been KnifeFan. You can watch it twitch.tv/KnifeFan or in the client on the Premier Amateur Community League Season 2 ticket. I have been joined by Calypsis. You can watch him at twitch.tv/Calypsis_. That's Calypsis, CALIPSIS_. I hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you next time.
Later.